Test. All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you all so much for joining us today in this special event in the life of the college. The first dedication of this building was held in the Lowry Center Ballroom on October 10th, 1969, as the first event of that year's homecoming weekend. The dedication ceremony was followed by a student steak fry and a homecoming parade. We'll do that again this year a little bit. At that dedication, a junior named Giles Hopkins in the class of 1971 remarked that the Lowry Center was more than brick and furniture, but an atmosphere in which understanding will thrive and grow. 54 years later, this renovated, revitalized, and reimagined student center continues to be more than brick and furniture, but an atmosphere in which understanding will continue to thrive and grow, and an accessible, inspiring, and welcoming place for all. I'm grateful to our alumni, family, and friends whose gifts, generosity, allowed us to break ground on this project in May of 2021, actually 2020. To the class of 1966, whose 50th reunion gift allowed us to create the alley in 2018 and lay the groundwork for our full renovation planning, and to the classes of 1971, 72, and 73 who made Lowry Center a priority in their 50th reunion planning and generous individual and collective support. I also must thank our architects, Bergmeyer, our general contractor, Bogner Construction, the team at Karpinski Engineering, our students, faculty, and dedicated staff, especially our facilities management and planning team, our dining teams, our student life teams, staff in the Center for Diversity and Inclusion, the marketing and communications team, which is why the building looks as cool as it does, and then the advancement team who really made this come to life. All of them helped to shape the vision for this project, and that hard work and dedication to this project has been brought to us at this moment. I also want to acknowledge and thank the students who underwent changes in dining, mail, studying, and gathering spaces during the summers of 21 and 22, and during the entire academic year last year, and our sincere appreciation for their patience and support as we made this a reality. So now to tell us about the building, it's my pleasure to introduce Rachel. We practiced this. Lanzavami, who's a senior associate and design practice leader at Bergmeyer. She's an architect and project manager who specializes in student centers and dining halls. She's an alumna of Syracuse University, has been with Bergmeyer for almost 16 years. Rachel.
How low I can get this here. All right. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to say a few words about this project that's been near and dear to the hearts of the Bergmeyer team for the past 4 years since our first visit to campus. I'd like to reiterate from last night the appreciation for all the donors for this project who made this possible. Your extraordinary generosity is absolutely incredible. Thank you for recognizing the importance of this project and the positive impact that it will have on not only today's students, but students for generations to come. And the fact that, that this project was completely donor funded is a tremendous achievement and speaks to the fact that this is a really special place. I'd like to thank the rest of my team at Bergmeyer, including Matt, who's up on the balcony right now. We have lots of our team who was not able to join us today, but they worked incredibly hard on this project, as well as our talented consultant partners. And we'd like to thank the entire Bogner team and all the subcontractors who did an exceptional job throughout the pre-construction and construction process. We'd like to thank the project steering committee for not only shaping the vision of this project, but for also helping us ensure that the diverse perspectives of stakeholders across the campus community were heard and represented in that vision. That vision was to transform Lowry into a place where students, faculty, and staff feel warmly welcomed and at home, a campus hub that draws people together in bright, welcoming spaces which foster engagement, community, and connection. It enables easy access to frequently used student services and draws people together over meals, shared activities, leadership opportunities, relaxation, and fun. Standing here today, we hope you can feel the power of that transformation. The design process was a very collaborative one, and most of what you see was inspired by our conversations with students, faculty, staff, and alumni. One thing we heard over and over again was that this building needed to feel uniquely Wooster. To staff and faculty, this meant that the addition should feel like an evolution of the original Lowry Center. It meant that the space needed to feel welcoming, inclusive, and safe. And from one staff member came the idea that the student support spaces upstairs should wrap around the commons like it was giving the students a hug. I know, so cute, right? To students, uniquely Wooster meant creating spaces that felt like their own, both open, active spaces and quiet, cozy nooks. To alumni, this meant incorporating aspects of Worcester's traditions and iconic symbols. The traditions surrounding independent study were first explained to us by our favorite alum, our colleague Scott, who's appropriately named. He was a graduate of the class of 1998. He would have loved to be here today, but he's on vacation with his family. This was a very meaningful project for him and a once-in-a-lifetime chance to work on transforming the building that he spent so much time in during his college years here. We had left a couple surprises for him in the graphics. His IS title is in that small dining room there. And we have a photo of his IS pin on the info desk, proud number 22. One of the most visible elements of Wooster tradition and Wooster iconography, I'll say, is the tartan motif throughout the space. But the tartan is more than a pattern or a brand element. It's a metaphor for this diverse campus, woven together through overlapping and shared interests and experiences. Each stripe has its own identity and integrity, but together, all of these stripes create something much larger and more significant: the whole cloth. Lowry Center is the physical manifestation of this idea, a place where individuals will come together to create something unique through their intersections and collaborations. We hope you're all as proud of this space and this momentous accomplishment for the College of Wooster as we are, and we're honored to have been a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. It seems like just yesterday we were interviewing Bergmeyer. Time has gone fast. I'm now pleased to introduce Adam Bogner, who's the Vice President of Bogner Corporation and one of the fourth-generation family members who currently own and operate Bogner Construction and Bogner Construction Corporation. In 2022, the Bogner family of companies were fortunate enough to celebrate their 125th year in business, which includes a partnership with the college dating back to 1901, 122 years. Adam, please come forward.
Happened a lot with Wayne recently. It's an absolute honor to have the opportunity to speak with you today and to help celebrate this amazing project. As Wayne mentioned, I am one member of the fourth generation of Bogner Corporation and Bogner Construction, which include my partners Tim, Brian, and Mike Bogner. Also in attendance today is Ted Bogner, who along with my father, Bob, led our company for the previous 40-plus years. It's difficult to put into words the connection our family feels to this campus, but I will say that we're humbled and we're proud to continue to contribute to the advancement of the College of Wooster and its mission with every project we complete. So on behalf of our entire family and company, I would first like to give special thanks to the College of Wooster trustees, administration, and many donors for continuing to place your trust and confidence in Bogner Corporation and allowing us the opportunity to deliver another important project on time and on budget. Had to slip that in there. A total facility renovation of this magnitude is never an easy task, but when considering that it was necessary to maintain full dining operations during construction, the project became much more of a monumental undertaking. Or depending on who you speak with, it may have been labeled a logistical nightmare. There were also several other terms of endearment that were floating around the job site. Standing here today in the Brush lobby, it's easy to forget everything it took to get us to this point. I won't detail the entire project history, but I will proudly state that through all of the challenges, whether it be a national foam shortage, a national concrete shortage, one of the many other supply chain issues still lingering from 2020, or simply the difficulty of completing work while keeping the existing kitchen online, we were successfully able to provide the first meal to students on August 17th, a date promised 2 years prior. Without question, this date could have only been met in one possible way, and that is with a complete and total team effort. So with that in mind, I have a couple of quick thank yous. To the College Wooster team, the administration, steering committee, and all those involved, Sarah, Wayne, thank you for your leadership as well as your constant support throughout the project. To the campus facilities group led by Mike Taylor, Bo Mastrine, Jim Wright, and many others, thank you. We could not have asked for a better group of individuals to work with during this project. To the entire dining services team, and specifically Marjorie Shamp, thank you. Maintaining operations in a building under construction for 18 months was probably not your dream scenario, but you approached every challenge we encountered with a positive attitude and a willingness to do whatever it took to get the job done. Marjorie never complained. She always asked, how can I help? To our design team, as a contractor, one of the things we truly enjoy is giving our architects a hard time. She's nodding in agreement. I will admit, on this project, we had a great teammate with Bergmeyer. So thank you to Matthew, Rachel, for all your help throughout this project, and please pass that message along to Daryl and Scott, who aren't here today. To our construction team, we had many dedicated subcontractors and individuals who contributed to the success of this project. In fact, over 400 individuals attended our contractor orientation program, and I'm going to read every one of their names now. At various times, we had well over 100 individuals on the job site, all working extended hours, 6 and sometimes 7 days a week to meet the deadline. Many of the individuals here today were present for building tours during construction. As part of these tours, I always like to joke that given the project schedule and the amount of work that needed to be completed, it was going to be chaos. We just hoped that it was organized chaos. So looking back, I can confidently say that our construction team was successful in ensuring the project and the job site were always organized, always clean, and most importantly, always safe. And all this would not have been possible without the efforts of our on-site team led by Barry Cochran and Aaron Troy. And special note, Barry, after 36 years with our company, retired at the tail end of this project. So good send-off for Barry. Thank you. And then finally, I'd like to thank the students. Congratulations on your new facility. We can't thank you enough for your patience throughout construction, and we think you will agree that it was well worth the wait. Thanks.
Thank you, Adam and Rachel. Real quickly, I recognized some people last night, but I want to quickly once again recognize this leadership steering committee for this building. Folks I recognized last night, but I forgot to mention Melissa Anderson, who's done an incredible job with this project. I promised I'd embarrass her today, so I have. And I also want to recognize some folks who came back for this. That includes, obviously, President Sarah Bolden, a great colleague, Myrna Hernandez from Dean of Students Office, and then Charles Inger was a part of the really early imagining of this process. It's great to have Charles back. So now I want to introduce two students I've actually gotten, one I've known for some time, and one I've gotten to know really well this year, and I really am glad that they're agreed to speak today. But I want to introduce Isabella Espinoza, who's a senior communications study, global media and digital studies double major, and is on the digital and visual storytelling pathway. She's an active member of the Wooster Volunteer Network Executive Board and works to connect students with community members around Wooster. She's a social media intern for the Office of Alumni and Family Engagement, where she creates content that connects with alumni of all ages. And after graduation, she plans to expand on the media production skills she has developed within her majors by pursuing a career in graphic design or visual communication. Isabel, you want to say a few words?
Okay, not quite the height difference there. It is an honor today to speak to you all on behalf of the class of 2023. As a senior, I've watched Lowry change a lot since I first got to campus. This renovation has had a significant impact on campus life for students, staff, faculty, and everyone who visits. Last year, when half the building was closed down, it was difficult for a lot of students to find a place to eat, but the campus community really bound together and found a way, including bringing in food trucks from the community, which was a really unique experience, and I'm happy I experienced it. This fall was met with a few hiccups as students and staff got used to the new space, but now that Lowry is fully open again, campus really does feel whole. As a student, my favorite part of the redesign is really just the entire second floor. Ever since it opened, I've spent many, many hours there. I was worried a little bit when we took away the pit that all the seating around it, and students would miss having a place to meet and relax really in the heart of campus, but the new second floor has well exceeded my expectations. The space has so many different kinds of seating with places to study, take a quick nap, talk with a friend, or do all of the above at the same time. I found myself studying in that space countless times over the past 2 weeks since it's been open, and my club has actually already hosted a volunteer event there, which is kind of impressive. While I've only will have access to this space for 1 semester, I'm so excited to experience it for this semester and see all of the good that it will serve the campus community in the many years to come. So thank you all very much for coming.
Thank you, Izzy. I'm now pleased to introduce Grace Braver, who's a senior geology major and advisee of Professor Shelley Judge. She's a vice president of Scott Council, president of the Equestrian Club, a member of the Ultimate Frisbee Geology Club, and the Sexual Respect Coalition. Grace works on campus as a peer tutor, a barista at Boo Bear's Brew, which I think that's where we first met, a research assistant in the Wheat Lab at OARDC, and following graduation, she will be moving to Colorado, my home state, so we should talk, to assist the Geological Resources Division of the National Resources Science and the Stewardship Directorate of the National Park Service with date development for structure for motion photogrammetry applications, working primarily with geologic hazards. I was a poli-sci major, so we... Okay. Grace, please come forward.
Thank you, President Webster, for that introduction. Thank you all for gathering here today at this dedication ceremony for the new Student Center. It has been a project that I've seen come to fruition over many years. My sister was a graduate as well in 2018, and this was talked back when she was a student. So it's really special to be involved in a process for such a long time and see it come to fruition in my final semester here. I'd like to start with thanking the Board of Trustees for all of the work they've put into making this space a priority and a possibility. I'd like to thank all of the donors that made this building possible, especially the class of 1971, 72, and 73. And I'd like to thank everybody that was involved in the project management and development of this space, as it is truly uniquely Wooster. I'd also like to shout out that downtown, it is the 1,000th day protest of the Black Lives Matter movement going on right now, and how we have a lot of our students currently attending that as well. This space means a lot to students. It is, first of all, better accessibility to all the spaces on this campus. There are certain offices that were not accessible because they didn't have an elevator to them, and now students are really part of that integral community in the Wooster space because they're able to access it. There's more spaces for collaboration across campus and truly in the heart of campus, as this is where you eat, this is the heart of campus. I love how there's open spaces for collaboration, there's tables, and of course our little private nooks if you need a smaller, quieter space to study. And it really fosters welcomed conversation between the students, the faculty, and the staff, which is really important. I joked with Dean Bobbitt earlier today how his office is slightly less scary now that it's integral into the heart of the community. My personal favorites are the fireplace. I'm so glad we were able to make that a piece of the second floor lounge. The Scott Council boardroom, so thank you for the donations for our own Scott Council boardroom. Please check it out. It is a beautiful space. And the storage lockers for clubs, so we no longer have to jostle with who's gonna take what home for that summer. And furthermore, my geology club has also already shown a movie upstairs, which is very exciting. It was a huge success, and I look forward to seeing all of the creative ways that the space is utilized for students of generations to come. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Grace. So at this time, I'd like to invite Dick Bell and Tony Clark to join me and Chair Staley and then Grace and Izzy for the ribbon cutting. So Dick Bell graduated from Wooster in 1963 with a BA in economics and has served as a trustee of the college since 2008. He and Tony have supported philanthropic ventures their entire careers that directly benefit young people, and their generous naming gift to this renovation continues their commitment to Wooster and our students and affirms the importance of Lowry Center in the life of this campus. So. That was also a little bit of a celebrity setting because senior Glenda Van Dyke recently played for Governor DeWine's inauguration. So as a part of our celebration today, you're invited now to stay for an open house. In addition, members of our advancement team are standing by the entrance of the survey with tickets, so you're welcome to stay and eat. Please walk up and down the floors and see the entire building. The bookstore, back to the Scott Council office. There's all kinds of things to see. Don't sit down in the blue alcoves. You'll take a nap. It's pretty comfy there, but you're welcome to. So please use your ticket before 2:30, and thank you all so much for being here and for all you've done to make this possible. Thank you.